Georgia Tech was on a bye this week. They had a chance to reset, but Georgia Tech's going to get a chance to play Pitt. Pitt hosts Notre Dame this weekend. I think this is look. I don't know if I'm going to pick Pitt to outright beat Notre Dame just yet, but I really like Pitt's chances in that game to have it be competitive. And College Game Day going to be on hand. A good chance for Pat Narduzzi and this program to showcase Mason Heintschel, one of the great stories in this conference. This game between Pitt and Notre Dame, I think, is going to be an all-out war. It would not shock me at all if they came out with the win. Georgia Tech heads up to Boston College, 3:30 game for them on the ACC network this weekend. Those are two teams that have that grit. They need to kind of show it over these next couple of weeks if they obviously want to get to Charlotte. But those two teams are ones that really kind of come to mind right now as having the opportunity to show, hey, yes, Georgia Tech lost to NC State. NC State's another one that I didn't mention earlier. That roster is a good roster. Yeah. They just have not been able to get everything out of that roster. I'm convinced if there was a change in coaching, kind of better situation there from that perspective, they would find a way to be a 10-win team with this type of roster that they have. I think CJ Bailey's a tough quarterback to defend, and Georgia Tech's going to have to defend Mason Heintschel in a couple weeks. So somebody's going to prove somebody right or wrong there, but this league is just pretty competitive, and some of the teams that were kind of floating around in the middle there, the Miami, Georgia Tech, Pitt, didn't necessarily get enough credit for kind of what they had built overall, and the early season wins. I think that's the thing that's really kind of driving people a lot of like nuts. The separation between Notre Dame and Miami.
Well, you look at Pitt. I think Pitt's the hottest team in the country right now. 5 straight wins. If they are able to win the next 3, they find themselves in Charlotte, and then they end up winning the ACC, they would be one of the premier teams in the playoffs, riding what would be a 9-game win streak at that point. They would be really hard to take down, whether they get a bye or not. Maybe they're hosting a game at the former Heinz Field. I'm trying to remember what they call it now. But ultimately, the Pittsburgh Panthers, the job that they've done the last 2 seasons of being able to make a lot of noise in this league. Last year, they rolled into Ford Stadium as a highly ranked team. SMU was able to get the better of them in that one, and they kind of wheels fell off after that game. But they're able to bounce back this year. They're able to be competitive with just a few games to go. And this league is more fun when it's this competitive. And in the years where it was, all right, obviously it's going to be Florida State, Clemson, or, Clemson, Louisville, you're getting these teams that are just obviously at the top and they're going to boat race everybody else. That's fine for the league as far as getting someone into the former 4-team playoff. But now that there's 12 in the era of the NIL, in the era of the transfer portal, it has never been more competitive in college football, and the ACC embraces that.